Welcome back to Surviving with Shoeler. This is episode 7, and I still haven't finished my starter base. That's right, I have completed 6 episodes, start to finish, without completing this thing that I started on in the first episode. For some context, in the first episode, I made this huge terraforming project to get a massive start on this base. In the second episode, I completed the terraforming. In the fourth, I finally built the house. And then in the fifth and the sixth, I continued to ignore this project. So in this episode, we are going to finish this house, just add another, building onto it. Maybe a tiny third one, I don't know. Whatever looks good. And then we're going to complete all of this terraforming, make it kind of look like this. Then we're going to add some shrubs, some trees and stuff, and then fix the waterfall, because there was a waterfall there. I don't know what I did with it. Before we do that, I should probably mention, if you haven't seen last episode, I fought a raid, and it killed half of my villagers. Although I placed down some beds, and they're all back. So, you know what, it worked out. Lost a couple lives, but we gained quite a few lives, honestly. Last episode, we also made a ridiculous redstone project. Why is it ridiculous, you may ask? Because I came up with the design, and I am not good at redstone. We gave it a test last episode, and it did not work perfectly, but you know what? That's to be expected with my redstone prowess. By the way, if you're liking this, please hit subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I know I would, okay? As of recording, I actually have 525 subscribers, 524 of which being my own accounts. So if you're that one unique person, hey, leave a comment. Let me know if that's you. I'm curious. Who is it? Real Life Skyler here to give you a quick announcement. I have a Cameo, which is an app where you give me about $1 and I make a video for you. It could be a birthday message for your mom or a friend. I could give you some bad advice, anything. And for the next couple months, all of the proceeds from my Cameo will be going to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, which is linked down in the description if you want to check that out. It's a steal of a deal. You're gonna get a video from this guy and you're gonna support a charity for like almost no money at all. If you plan on buying, use the website and not the app because Apple steals all of the money. And do try to keep it, a little clean. Also, so you know I'm not scamming, I will be posting receipts in future videos and also in the community tab. Okay, back to the video. All right, now that that's all out of the way, I'm going to get started on this. And the first step is gonna be to spread this moss and make all this terraforming look like this terraforming. And I will be doing that in the form of a time lapse. So let's go. Well, here we are. What I did was pretty simple. Just, spread the terraforming like how it is. It's self-explanatory. I do want to say I recently finished my first year at college. Yeah! As of recording, of course. I've been taking online classes for the last 2 quarters, so it's been pretty easy to make, weekly Minecraft videos. But next year, I am transferring to a different school, and I'll be taking all in-person classes. So just saying, gonna be a little hard to create weekly Minecraft videos. I don't know how long this is gonna go on for. Hopefully until I die, which will hopefully not be soon. There we are. Boom. So it's not totally finished. There's terraforming up there to do and a lot more texturing and stuff, but I think it is way better than it was before. I think I'm just gonna slowly pick away at this between episodes because it's really just a bunch of grindy work, like, finishing this over here and putting in moss and finishing this texturing. It's not very interesting, but it needs to get done. But something that is at least a little bit interesting, or something to work on that is a little bit interesting, is this house. And for this, I'm actually going to take the advice of a group of some of my biggest fans. They said that it actually might be a good idea to just, spin this 90 degrees. And personally, I think that's the right choice too. I think it's a little big and it kind of dwarfs the size of the cliff a little bit. So if I do spin this on its side, instead of adding a bunch of like other buildings and stuff to it, it would look cool, but the cliff would still look pretty big. So I'm gonna do that. And if I'm being honest, I kind of have no idea how I'm gonna do that. Would it be a better idea to go layer by layer and just spin it? Or should I just break down this entire thing and then, I don't know. The need to make a decision is eating me alive. And it's just so ridiculous. I have no idea how these guys got here. Layer by layer? Or, okay, now that I'm actually breaking this down, I think I have a good plan. Instead of taking it layer by layer or just tearing the entire thing down, I'm just gonna break down just the roof, then just the top floor, then just the bottom floor, then just the deck, and take it like layer by layer, but not like Minecraft block layer by layer, if you know what I mean. If you're watching this, chances are you're from episode 5, which just released 2 days ago, and it is already my best performing video ever. Like I said, in the first 2 days, I've gained, it was either 1 or 2 billion subscribers from it, and I got like a couple kajillion views on it. But I just kind of want to talk about it a little bit because it's really weird doing this whole YouTube thing. When I was younger, I was really serious about doing YouTube. I wanted to do it as a job. I've since kind of fallen in love with like film and stuff, so I don't want to do this as a job anymore. But when I was younger, I really wanted to do it. And so I would spend months on like videos that took a lot of time and energy while also still doing school. It was really fun, but I was always just a little bummed because nothing really took off, even though I put in like months into a single video. And I kind of started doing this series because I like doing YouTube kind of just as a hobby, seeing what people have to say and like putting out videos and stuff. It's like a fun process. And then I also like Minecraft and I just wanted to play it some more. And kind of just as like an experiment for my curiosity, like my curious younger self, I decided to do like weekly uploads to see how that would work. And oh my God, it is like working way better than I thought. I've gained 75 subscribers from just 5 videos so far. It is bonkers. But I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. This is crazy. That like younger version of myself is just like so excited, and I don't know, it's just cool to see all this. And there we have it. It's all freaking gone. Now the only thing left to do is build it all back. I organized it into 4 little chests for all of the steps. I don't really know how well it's gonna work out, but oh well, just gotta build it. And there we go. Took it for a spin. Took it for a little spin. Cause I rotated it 90 degrees, which is like I spun it 90 degrees. So I took it for a you get it. I'm incredibly happy with how this turned out. This was definitely the right move. It looks so much better than the old iteration did. I am very glad that I actually spun this around. First of all, it means that I have to do less building in order to complete this base. But second of all, I think that if I were to add in multiple buildings onto the side of it and kept the old iteration, it really would have dwarfed this mountain. I mean, just the size of this thing alone kind of makes the mountain look small. Maybe I need to make the mountain bigger, add more hills to it. I don't know. I'm not making any promises. But I do think that this is more of an appropriate size, you know, to be put onto this mountain. As you can see, I did make a couple changes because I did intend for that initial iteration to be the build. But I had to change a couple things. Obviously, I didn't have an entrance before, and this used to be a exit, so I changed it into a window and made these 2 windows smaller, which I think adds a lot of character. I think it looks pretty cool. And then the patio is a little different. And then something very important that I actually never really made a plan for adding was, you know, a staircase up to the 2nd floor. So now we have a nice staircase to the 2nd floor. It's empty, but it's spacious, and you know, I'm excited to do the interior designing for this, but that's going to take a little bit of thought to do, and I don't have any mental energy at this current point in time, so I do not think I will be doing that in this episode. I am extremely proud of how this turned out. There are still a couple things I need to do. As you can see here, I did just a little bit of terraforming. This used to be all sloped, but I wanted to flatten this out, so I made a little cliff out of it, just so I have like an actual walkway to my home. But, you know, as you can see, this thing is just floating. It just looks like a random, you know, house plopped down right next to a cliff. They don't really look like they match currently, so I need to add in some support beams, maybe change the terraforming to match this a little bit better. And I want to make this cliff, you know, look better. Better is the theme of this episode. So while I'm still in a building mood, which is depleting by the second, I've got to put in some stilts so that this thing can you know, actually looks like it stands. Just keeping it simple with like a little wall, so some spruce fence, and then I'll use some gates to kind of, you know, like attach it a little bit better. See, like this. It's skinny, flimsy, and honestly, there's no way that these little chicken legs are holding up this big build, but it gets the job done. I am open to suggestions, though, if you have any other better idea. And now there's only one thing left to do this episode, which is finishing this cliff. I know I said that I was going to add trees and shrubs and fix the waterfall, but if I'm being honest, and I hope that I can be honest with you guys, I don't have the time. This episode has taken multiple weeks for me to complete, and I gotta get it out. I'm sorry the episode is running a little shorter than they usually run, but you know, like this was a lot of work to finish all of this kind of stuff, but it gets packed into like 9 minutes, so you know. What am I supposed to do? My hands are tied. But as for this cliff, I think I like the steepness of it, and I think I'll just keep that going right here. But you know, I just need to do a little bit of shaping. Obviously, I need to get like rid of this hole. But yeah, I'll just do some shaping, add some shrubbery and stuff, and you guys can kind of see my process, because I don't know if I've really shown me going first person building this kind of stuff. You'll get to see. As I'm building, I want to talk a little bit about what I was talking about earlier, you know, the episode 5. I recorded that audio last night, and I was going crazy because I've gained like 75 subscribers since I started doing this series. Things have been changing. Since then, I have gained, well, now I've gained 120 subscribers since, you know, I've been posting this stuff. It is honestly crazy. I have no idea how this happened. It's the video sitting at like 1,000 views. I don't know. It's wild. Welcome everyone who's new. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for the support. It is awesome. It is crazy. It is cool. Yeah. And now it's all finished. It's a pretty simple process. You know, I've been keeping this kind of trend going on. Like, you know, I start from this tough, and then I go to the diorite, and then I go back up to the tough and stuff. And I tried to incorporate that there, so it kind of looks consistent, you know? I think that looks pretty cool. I am digging this part over here. All of these little hills, and then the slopes, and the hills and the slopes. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. And I'm really glad that I decided to go for a big hill over here instead of something sloping upwards. I just think that it frames this house really nicely. I haven't put any grass or shrubs over here because I'm still not too sure what I'm going to do with my pathway, and I don't want to put some things in only just to remove them. But now that that's out of the way, there's only one thing left to do, which is telling you that if you made it this far, you clearly like this content. Just subscribe. I'm posting weekly, man. Leaving a like and a comment is also very appreciated. It really shows me that you guys are liking this. You can give me suggestions and stuff. I reply to every comment. Just let me know. Also, if you plan on purchasing a Cameo, the link is in the description. Do it through the website, not through the app. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.